I'm Adrian, and today I've got a nice little lick involving the diminished scale for you. I'm going for kind of a rockabilly type of a feel with this lick, though it would work equally well, I think, in a jazz context or in a straight blues context. Now, if you've never come across the diminished scale before, it's a really interesting and quite unusual sound, and what I hope this lick will do is enable you to get that sound under your fingers and into your ears. So let me show you the lick. Now, I don't want to go into a full-on music theory lesson right now, but just briefly let me explain what we're dealing with here with this diminished scale, and then maybe in the future I'll do a more in-depth lesson on this subject. Now, in a sense, this scale couldn't be simpler. It's what's known as a symmetrical scale, and it's made up of a series of repeated intervals. So on the guitar, I think it's easiest to see this thing along one string. If we want to play an A diminished scale, we can start on the A note here, and all we do is this: we go up 1 fret and then 2 frets, 1 fret, 2 frets, 1 fret, 2 frets, and so on. So it's just that repeated series of half steps and whole steps, or semitones and tones if you prefer, that gives you that diminished scale. A lot of people talk about the two different diminished scales. There's the one that starts with a half step and goes half, whole, and then there's the one that starts with the whole step and then goes whole, half, whole, half, etc. But they're really kind of two sides of the same coin, I suppose. Now, I guess the interesting thing about this scale is the harmony contained within it, which can get quite complex, and that's one of the reasons that the scale is so loved by jazz players. But I think a good way into this scale is to use it in a blues context, which is what I'm doing with this lick. There are a few places you can use this scale in a blues. You can use it on the 1 chord to kind of introduce a little bit of tension as you move to the 4 chord, or you can do what I'm doing here, which is to use it over the 4 chord and introduce a bit of tension going back to the 1 chord. And I'm kind of hinting at a kind of sharp 4 diminished sound, which is a very common thing in a blues. If we've got a blues in E here, we go to the 4 chord, which is the A7, and then quite often you can go to a sharp 4 diminished before you come back to the 1, and that's kind of what I'm going for on this lick with that diminished sound. But enough of my yakking about all this theory stuff. Let's just learn the lick, and I hope that will give you a good sense of the scale and its kind of melodic and harmonic possibilities. So what I might do is I'll write out the entire thing that I played at the top of this lesson on my website, but really I just want to deal with this particular diminished lick here in this video today. And the lick itself goes like this. So it's kind of played over an A7 chord. You can kind of hear that sharp 4 diminished sound, and then it resolves back into the 1 chord. So as I said, we're playing the lick over the 4 chord of a blues in E, so that's over an A7 chord, and we're starting with the root note of the A7 here, 5th fret on the low E string, going up to the 4th fret on the 5th string, then 7th fret on the 5th string. That's like an A major arpeggio. And then we're into the diminished scale stuff. I'm starting with this note here, 4th fret on the 4th string, and you can see we're starting that series of semitones and then a tone and then a semitone. So we're playing the 4th fret on the 4th string, sliding up to the 5th fret, then the 7th fret, 8th fret, then we're on to the 5th fret on the 3rd string, then 6th, 8th, 5th fret on the 2nd string, then 8th fret, then 7, 5, and then 6 to 4 on the 3rd string. So we've got so far all of this will be in tab and music on my website if I'm going a little bit too fast for you in this video. So again, we're resolving back to the 1 chord, so I'm playing the 5th fret on the 2nd string, 6 to 4 on the 3rd string, 7 on the 4th string, and then hammering quickly from the 5th to 6th fret on the 4th string. So I'm playing all of this with a nice kind of bluesy swing. So 2, 3, 4. One more time, a bit faster. 2, 3, 4. Well, I hope you enjoy learning this lick, and I hope it inspires you to maybe explore further the wonders and mysteries of the diminished scale. Have fun, and I'll see you again for some more lessons very soon. Bye bye.